That was getting a bit long, so
It looks
yes,
great. It looks wonderful.
excellent. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a nice Easter?
Well, yeah, I was traveling all day today, or a lot of today, because yeah, I've been doing well, did 7 concerts of work called The Passion by Adrian Snell, singer-songwriter.
Yeah,
So
no, I saw that.
yeah,
Yeah, it looked
Hey,
so
amazing.
yeah, so it was good. Yes.
we
So
are live. It looks
ooh,
on YouTube. I see that we're live. Hey, Dave. Dave did get a haircut. Looks good, Dave.
hello, yes.
Hey,
Hi, Andrew.
I'm trying.
Natalie. Natalie,
Yeah,
see if you can see us on Facebook, please.
I am trying. Hang on.
Oh, I'll try and get on YouTube as well. I'm not
Go
sure
see
the Wi-Fi here will allow it. But
if we can get on Instagram. Make sure we're live on Instagram. Instagram's a little tricky with Restream.
There we go.
A lot of times they want us to re-type in the key. I don't see
Okay.
us there. I know we're on YouTube, and you said we're on Facebook, honey.
Yes, Robert Schindler's already on. Hi, Robert.
Hi,
Happy
Robert
Easter. Well,
Schindler.
happy. No, he probably doesn't. I don't know. Schindler, do you? I don't know if you celebrate
Run
Easter.
Facebook, honey.
Yes, Robert on. Hi,
Hi,
Robert.
Robert Schindler.
Well, happy. No, he probably doesn't. I don't know. Schindler, do you? I don't know if you celebrate Easter.
Honey.
Okay, yes, so Robert lag. On. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert Schindler.
Well, happy. No, he probably doesn't. I don't know.
You know what?
Schindler, do you? I don't know if you celebrate Easter.
I gotta get rid of my
Yes.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's
Hi,
feeding back.
Shelby.
Hello.
Ah, hey, hello.
Hello,
Ah,
hello. How is everyone?
Good.
yes,
How are
We
good.
are
you?
well.
Good, good, good. I'm just brewing a cup of tea at the moment, so I'll disappear for just a brief second to
That's
get my cup of tea.
You know,
Mine's milk, no sugar.
I
Thanks.
have a new
Milk
besides the
no
new
sugar.
uh beautiful Aston microphones, I have a new camera set up and some new lighting, which is
Wow.
great. And the only thing is the camera's here and you guys are over here on my on the
Ah,
screen. So I shall do
Ah,
my best to look at the camera, but when you're talking, I'm going to look over here at you guys so I can actually see you. So I know we're live on YouTube. Natalie said we're broadcasting. You're seeing it on Facebook.
yeah. Sort of.
Okay. So
so
Darren has a big Italian family Easter function today, and so he may or may not be able to join us, depending upon if he can get away from the Easter festivities. So,
right, the mafia.
what did he say? What did you say?
Well, it just the way you described it, it sounded like it was some kind of mafia gathering.
Oh, well,
yeah.
it could be. You know, it's the Italian family on Long Island, man. We never know.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
I hope Mary doesn't. I hope Mary appreciates that. So Shelby, what did you do with your day? Do you celebrate Easter?
Yeah, I mean, I had my parents over here earlier. We did a very loose Easter celebration. It was more like an excuse to just have my parents round and have a catch up, you know. We just ordered in pizza, you know.
Nice.
I
That's
had
great.
pizza as well today.
Nice.
Easter
Yeah,
pizza.
Yeah.
Easter pizza. Yeah, exactly.
I I think that's fantastic. Um, I'm a little bit under the weather. I had like a little weird stomachy buggy thing. And so I didn't sleep much last night, but I'm tanked up on Pepto and coffee and I'm rallying and I'm good to go. So
Nice. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get my tea. I'll just be a
Okay.
minute.
go for it.
She gets a
And
tea. I'm gonna have a
Ron Koenig, I hope I'm saying that right. Ron Koenig is watching. Thank you so much.
I should maybe just share this on Facebook as well. How do I do?
Natalie's watching it on Facebook, aren't you, Natalie?
Yeah, we're live. It's a
Yeah.
live Facebook event from our page. Yeah.
Let me
So
see if I
Schindler and Ronald, thank you so much for joining us today. We
we
knew
got
it was
Robert
kind
Schindler. Robert Schindler, master of the synthesizers of the entire state of North Carolina.
of seriously.
So
Oh yeah, I can see us. I can see us on Facebook.
Yeah.
I have it. It's muted. So I'm Facebook, and here's YouTube over here.
Right, I will share this link and see if I can rally some people to join in.
I have a list of questions, and I got the email sent out late. I got it sent out earlier today, but usually I get it sent out on Saturday. I didn't get that done yesterday.
Well, we knew, having it on a holiday. Oh, Cedello is here. Happy Sunday, Michael Cedello.
Michael Cedello, thank you so much for joining us.
And I hope I do this okay. Stein Flatrud is watching. Hello,
Fantastic.
Stein. Thank you. This is awesome.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Megan. Give a shout out to Megan Phillips. She's here in the YouTube chat. Hi.
Great.
Megan says hi to everybody. Yeah,
Jeffrey
she was like, I
Davis.
just got the email. Yeah.
Jeffrey Davis is also here. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys, for being here with us in person. So I have some questions for Dave and Shelby as we get started on the live stream. So this week, oh man, should have grabbed it before. Okay.
Vivek Pradhan is also
our virtual 2024 virtual tour. This is event. Oh, Shelby got hers.
Oh, yeah.
We sent Dave posters, but he's been on tour in Europe, so he probably hasn't seen them yet.
I have seen. They arrived just before I left, but they're in Baltimore.
Okay.
So I'm in the UK at the moment. But thanks. Yeah,
thank you. So here's our today is event 14 out of 57 for the 2024 virtual tour.
Woo-hoo!
And this is the second cycle. So we've been celebrating the single release of the song Third Rail. The official video, we had Miss Shelby did a great job producing that video. You can check out some of the discussion about that on the behind the official video that just came out on Friday, how Shelby masterfully mixed Dave into the video, because since he wasn't able to be with us, he shot some very cool footage somewhere near a cactus in Portugal, I believe.
Spain.
Yeah. In Spain. Okay, Spain.
Yeah, south coast of Spain.
And she did a great job with that. So we discussed that on the video that just came out 2 days ago. And speaking of touring, right now, Shelby's getting ready to do some touring with her band Kairos, and Dave has been touring with Life Signs and a couple other artists, and I keep getting them confused on who he's with and when. So, Dave, why don't you give us the update, what you've been doing for the last 6 weeks?
Getting confused about that as well. It's been a ridiculously complicated month. So, yeah, a few weeks ago, I was on Cruise to the Edge with Life Signs. And because our regular drummer Zoltan couldn't make it, we had the fabulous Simon Phillips joining us on drums for those performances.
Nice.
And that was brilliant. And of course, Shelby was there. So it was great to meet your bandmates from Kairos on that.
Yeah, so you got to meet Joey. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fabulous. And hear him play a little bit with Ryo as well.
Yeah.
So that was excellent. Yeah, I only managed to catch about 10 minutes of that set before we had to go off and do something else, but sounded great.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a journey for him. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So as soon as I got back from Cruise to the Edge, I had to spend a couple of days practicing for the Passion by Adrian Snell, which is Adrian's a singer-songwriter from England. And he wrote an Easter, it's not a musical, Easter work called The Passion about 40 years ago, and it's just been remixed and remastered and re-released on vinyl and everything. So we just did a tour of that with 5 concerts in the Netherlands and 2 in the UK. So the last one was last night in London. And that's
the one you were playing keyboards on, right?
Yeah, so with Life Signs, I'm the lead guitarist and occasional keyboard, and then with with Adrian on The Passion, I'm playing keyboards. So on 5 of the concerts, we had a full orchestra. We also had a choir and soloists. So my role was really there was 3 band gigs. So on those, basically playing all the orchestral parts, and then when the orchestra was there, kind of doubling lots of parts and filling in stuff that was missing. So, for example, last night there was only one double bass player, so I was kind of playing more bassy stuff, but basically just making it sound fuller. But that was fantastic. It's such a moving, powerful work, and it's obviously the Easter story. So
Wow.
Cool.
good to do that. And then so I've just arrived back up in my rental place here in Lincolnshire in the north of England. And because the heating hadn't been on for 2 weeks, it's quite cold. So still got my coat on.
God.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
I know. You look like you're going skiing. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So I've got tonight and tomorrow to rehearse to go over Colin Blunstone music. So I'm playing with him on the Blue Cruise, which sets sail from Miami next Friday. So in any gaps, I've been because we had rehearsals with him in February, but then he's been on tour with Zombies, and I've been doing stuff. So been trying to do lots of homework on that, so that when we get to the cruise, I can remember everything. So yeah, so it's lots of
Wonderful.
interesting music, really, and different kinds of scenarios.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Very cool. So
Do
the
you
kids are
chart-
so
do you-
busy.
Do you chart that stuff out? Because I find when I'm doing multiple projects, I'll always at least make my own charts, because when there's that's just so much to remember with patch changes. Not even if maybe the music part, but if you've got patch
Yes.
changes and if you're singing, you've got all the lyrics and whatnot.
That's true. Yeah, actually, and there was another. I did a solo concert as well, supporting Big Big Train about a couple of days before we went down for the Life Signs rehearsal. So that was another set to learn. But yeah, well, with the Passion, I've written out my own parts for that, because there's so much stuff that's doubling orchestra. It would be I could learn it all, but it would take ages. But with Colin's set, I've basically learned that pretty much by heart. I have on the Kronos, as you know, there's like a big display, and you can type in kind of notes for tracks. So I tend
the set
It's a
list function.
lifesaver.
And
Absolute lifesaver, that is.
yeah, it really is. So I can, if there's like a complicated chord sequence in a song, I can put some notes on there. So that's what I usually do. And then it looks like I haven't got any music, and it basically I have
Yeah, exactly.
the occasional bit. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Shelby? What
what have you been up to the last 6 weeks, Shelby? I'm
Yeah.
getting ready for
Oh.
Life Kairos' stuff.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, it's been a wild time. Cruise to the Edge was fantastic. Yeah, I went mainly as an attendee, but I did a little bit of keyboard tech for Rio Okamoto, who of course Jerry was playing with.
Oh, that's right. I
And,
saw you fixing his computer, I think.
Yes. So
yeah.
my absolutely crowning glory moment was the pool stage performance, his first of the 2 performances on the boat. I seemed to somewhat save the day, because his computer was overheating, and he would play a chord on his keyboard and it would stutter. It would go like and it turns out the laptop was overheating so much it was like clocking down the CPU, right? It was throttling and causing sounds to not come out properly. And originally I thought, oh, that must be because we've got this hood over the top of it, so we can use it as a sunshade, but that must be trapping in all of the heat, right? So we took the hood away. Instantly it got a little bit better, not 100%, just a little bit better. And then I thought, okay, you know what? It just needs some airflow. Let's get a fan. And if we could just have a fan pointed at his laptop for the whole gig, let's just do that. So we got a tall flight case and we put a fan on top of it, aiming at the laptop. Instantly fixed it. Like it just instantly fixed it. Rio was absolutely blessed him. He was so grateful. He was like, "Oh, I owe you whatever you want. I owe you big time."
Well, I have this band that
Yeah.
that would be oh my God. That's those kind of moments are so groovy.
It was a beautiful moment. It really was a wonderful moment. And then the rest of the cruise was fantastic as well. I got to see Life Signs, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just the whole cruise was, from beginning to end, it really is a very surreal experience. And I also treated it as a full-on networking opportunity, you know, meet as many people as I can and establish as many new contacts as I can. And yeah, lots of new people in my address book, shall we say.
Yeah. Matt Dorsey,
Yes, got to catch up with Matt. Yeah.
yeah, he wrote to Andrew calling you a badass. He just
Oh yeah,
bless.
Matt said you were a
just
badass.
loved meeting you, and
Yep.
it was nice for him to make that extra to give you that shout out, because you know he started with us
Yeah.
as a bass
Yeah,
player and also did guitar tracks for us and mixed for us. But and of course this next album that you
He's
played on, you know,
two
he
of the
did two
songs on this
songs.
record. So yeah.
But it was really, you know, because he's a man of he's shyer than most, but it was really nice. He just really wanted us, mostly Andrew, but to know that he met you and thought you were a badass. And I just thought that was really lovely for him to say.
that's so lovely. Yeah, no, I really loved hanging out with him. He was fantastic. Like
He's
we
a
went
lovely guy.
we went to go grab dinner together, so we got to really know each other and had a big, you know, just catch up talking about all sorts, nerding out over music, and yeah, lots of fun. Really,
Yeah.
really good to hang out with Matt.
Yeah.
We love Matt.
He's
Yeah,
a great.
I actually got to play with him as well on the cruise.
Yes,
oh, really?
the
What
Beatles
happened?
moment. That was so cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Well, yeah, Rob Rutz had this idea for getting lots of people together to do an impromptu, unrehearsed and unannounced version of the second side of Abbey Road, the Beatles.
Yes, Jimmy Keegan was on that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it and I couldn't find it. I saw it scroll up in my social stuff. And it was really, somebody said, this is what happens when you're not, you know, in between bands, when you're lucky enough to hit it at the right time or something. And it sounded amazing, you guys. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we didn't have even have any sound check or anything. We just got on stage and played it. And yeah, that was great. So I was stood next to Matt and had a bit of a chat with him as well, which was good, about the Circuline tracks that he'd written.
Yeah.
So he was pleased with how they'd come out, which is nice.
Yeah.
When I went to NAMM in January, he kept saying, "Am I ever going to get to hear these songs?" And we hadn't. The answer was no. I didn't want to send it I didn't want to give him anything until they were finished. I wanted to wait until Shelby got her parts done, Dave got his parts done. We got to redo all the final vocals. Robert had mixed it. It had been to mastering, and that really took us up until almost Christmas. And so since I had a chance to go hang out with him at NAMM, that's what I usually do when I go to NAMM every year, is one night I'll go hang out at Matt's place. So that was really nice. And he liked what we did. Actually, he liked what we did so much, he said, "I should give you all of my songs to produce."
Very nice. I thought
that
was
was kind of the best compliment that you could get. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out now. Go check in our people who have joined us in the live stream, and I'm looking around the camera. I see Robert Onions on the YouTube live stream. Thank you so much, Robert. He wrote some great tracks already released from up and coming album. Thank you so much. There's another one coming this Friday. Megan Phillips, hi again. James Berry, hi Dave, excuse my ignorance, but I don't know Circuline, so tell me what it is about them that made you decide to play with them, other than the fame and fortune, and why I guess James Berry would like our music. That's kind of putting you on the spot.
Boy, dude. Sorry, you got that one.
I was just reading the question. I didn't know I didn't know that's where it was going.
Yeah. No, well, hi, James. Yeah, James and I have known each other for a long time, so that's okay. I think probably my wife Sharon knew Andrew before I did, and then we met at Frogstock. 20 was it 20? No, was it 2019? Maybe. I think when you were there with Robert Berry, we met.
2019, we met.
Yeah. And then you were helping out Sharon in your other role as a doctor. So very kindly offering online kind of telemedicine calls, which is much appreciated. And So then what happened next?
I think we just kept talking. I think we just
Yeah.
we kind of just kept talking back and forth about things.
Yes, yeah. And then I think eventually you mentioned that you were doing this new Circuline album, and would I be interested in doing some guitar type things? So yeah, I did, and it came out pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I think what happened was we asked you if you would be a guest, and maybe you did one track, and it was so amazing.
Yeah.
I just said, "Well, he's the right guy for
Yeah.
us. Will you join us for this next album cycle?"
Mm.
And I think that's how it worked out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here's someone who's a Maynard Ferguson aficionado.
Ah,
Dave will know Roy T from Michigan.
yeah, Roy Totsky. Hi, Roy. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Actually, going back to, I think Megan asked where in the UK I am, and I'm in a kind of on a country lane off a small village in North Lincolnshire. But in this room, actually, I recorded quite a few of the parts for the Circuline album. All the acoustic guitar parts were done in here, and some of the electric parts as well. So yeah,
Those
quite.
acoustic parts sound fantastic.
Yeah, it's
They
a
sound
nice
great.
room for recording acoustic guitar in because it's got a high ceiling, and it's like if you look here, there's a stone wall just behind, and there's wooden floors. So
Oh.
it just gives a bit of life to acoustic instruments, which is quite nice.
Is that the one that used to be a barn and they turned part of it into a great room?
Yes. So it's, well, the lady who owns all this, it used to be a farm, and so she was living in the house, and the rest was kind of falling down barns and things. So she made the biggest part of the barn into her house, and then she did up the couple of smaller units, of which this is one, and rents them out. So I think I'm quite a good tenant because I'm paying a rent and I'm hardly ever here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's ideal. So whenever I'm in the UK, this is where I'm staying. The rent's fairly cheap as well, so I can keep this going whilst basically being based in Baltimore.
Nice.
That's great.
I should do a couple more
Let's
shout
go to
outs.
the Facebook. Go to the Facebook feed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not so sure everybody heard this, so I'm going to say it again. Vivek Pradhan is watching. MD Sunny is watching. Bubakar Siddiqui Dembele, I really hope I'm not totally messing up your names, is also watching. And a dear buddy of the band from the early days, a wonderful keyboard player in his own right, Wes Ostagai, is it Ostagai? Ostagai from Savannah, wishes us a happy Easter. And our very best buddy, Ronnie Matthews, is on, wishing us a happy Easter. And again, Michael Sadello, Jeffrey Davis. Jeff says he can't wait to get the new CD. He loves all the videos. He has our music in the car permanently. Happy Easter to us all. We love you, man. Michael Govero.
Oh, we love Michael Govero.
Who may or may not be joining us on a festival we may or may not be
on some live dates later in the fourth quarter of this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just nice to give a little shout out. Thank you guys for being here on.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Michael Sadello, Michael Govero. Thank you so much.
And Wes.
Shelby was talking. We were talking about the cruise, and then she didn't get to finish telling us about her Kairos preparation for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Did I get sidetracked? I completely forgot where I went with that. Yeah. Cruise was great, but then right as I got back from the cruise, I needed to dive straight into tour prep because we're kicking off our Mannequin album tour in less than 2 weeks now. So I've been knee deep in programming my keyboards and getting all of our tech stuff up and ready and running. And I some people think that all I have to worry about is my keyboards and getting my patches done, but it's so much more than just that because I also pre-program all of our lights. Everything is all time synced and is run on run via MIDI, which is all being spat out from our computer, which also does all of our patch changes automatically, which I also have to program. But the lights is this self-contained system that's pre-programmed ahead of time, and I'm the person who pre-programs it. So it's just a million and one things that I have to focus on.
Yeah.
So between now and the tour kicking off, I'm neck deep.
Yeah. In addition to your day gig, your
In
day
addition
job.
to all of the day stuff, yes, which is actually in a very interesting spot at the moment. I can't publicly go into details, but all I will say is announcements are going to be made very soon. It's very
Oh,
exciting.
oh,
It's
that's
very
very
exciting.
exciting.
That's good.
Yes.
I want to ask one question about that. I've been hearing about this for years, where you can have a central hub computer that'll take care of the light changes and the patch changes. So does it send a MIDI signal to the lighting rig and your keyboard patch changing rig on the Kronos and to Joey's pedal board, or just
So let me
lights in your
explain.
keyboard?
It's actually it's quite simple. It's all self-contained in one laptop, which is why we run a backup laptop in case that one laptop goes down. Because if that one laptop goes down, our entire show comes down.
Right.
But that single laptop is running a Logic Pro session, and that Logic Pro session will have, in addition to some playback audio, which is like just extra layers and stuff that we don't play live, that is happening behind us. It has MIDI channels that will be sending to both my keyboards, the Kronos and the Hydrasynth. This being on channel 1 and then channel 2, and it just tells it to go to
The next
this
patch.
number patch on
Right.
this song. And then on another channel, on channel 3, MIDI channel 3 will be Joey's Axe Effects, which is
Okay.
also racked in the same box. So it's just sending MIDI signals out to go to this patch number.
Okay.
And then the lights are being controlled by a piece of software called Light Key, which is all in the box. So inside of the MacBook, there is a MIDI connection, like a virtual connection between Logic and Light Key, where Logic spits MIDI out into the Light Key software, which then spits out DMX signals
Yep.
to our lighting rig and controls it that way.
Cool. That is a ton of programming work.
It is a
I think
ton of
Natalie,
programming work.
Natalie's eyes have just glazed over.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about, but I'm gonna nod like I do.
You know what? For the people who aren't into this kind of geekery, let's just say that it's a way for the computers to help control all the sounds coming out of the keyboards, all the sounds coming out of the guitars, and all of the lighting all coordinated at the same time, which is
Precisely.
pretty phenomenal.
So
That's
does that mean you take a complete light rig with you, Shelby?
Yep.
Wow.
We don't have a full stage like lighting rig setup, but we have 4 big bars that are like 3-in-1 beams and also color bars and spotlights, basically all in these self-contained bars. So we have 4
Yeah.
of those that are set up behind us
Yeah.
to form like just this kind of surrounding backlit side stage type thing.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy to set up.
And is there a video as well that's also synced to the music?
We used to run a video system. Back in the day, we used to do video projections across these old computer screens, but it proved to be too much of a logistics nightmare. That was pushing the boat too far out.
Yeah.
But we can do it. Our system is capable of doing it. And when we get to a point where we can have a tech who can travel with us to take care of all of that will be the day that we bring all of that back.
Wow.
There's a band from Chicago. Who's the band that Rita used to manage? Rita K. Drew used to manage, the Siberium.
Yeah.
And when they do live shows in Chicago, they did the TV thing. They got, like 48-inch, 36-inch, 60-inch televisions and had them around the stage. And they would have a video projection but I don't think it was synced. I don't think it was synced with the music necessarily, with like the patch changes for the guitars and the keyboards. I think it was just something to have a display, and they would, maybe hit play at the beginning of a song, and then it would just project onto all the TV screens.
I know when Leprous, I think, was supporting Haken many years ago when I caught them in London. I think they had a similar thing where it's just TV screens on stage that they just hit play at the beginning of the song and it would just play these visuals that weren't necessarily time synced, but they were thematic to the song.
Something was playing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm a real stickler for just like things that are time synced. It makes my brain go, ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, if
like
you
when I
ha-
have a section
right.
where the music will be doing stabs, so it'll be going like boom, 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 boom. The lights doing that at the same time. I love that.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
Well, if you're running a click out of Logic and so the drummer and everyone's playing along with it, then you can do that. So that's great.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
and
give a
that's
shout out. Robert Onion said it was fabulous to see Dave play live with Life Signs in 2023, who topped the bill at a prog festival in South Wales. Dave is a fabulous guitar player.
Thanks,
Then-
Robert.
Then
Yes.
there's Ford Fiesta writes, I thought Robin was just hiding in the back of the cube flipping switches on the lights.
No, Robin's behind the drum kit, hiding behind the drum kit, playing drums.
So
I'm just going to get a drink, actually. I'll be back.
Go
in a
ahead,
second.
Dave.
Yeah. So,
Shelby, did
Shelby-
you get your tea?
Yeah,
You got
Shelby
your
got her tea. I want to make sure people know where you're going to be, though.
Oh,
Like, what's your
for the
Yeah,
upcoming
For the,
tour.
for the
So,
Kairos
yes.
live dates. Yeah, where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
where's the
Yeah,
tour
very good
dates?
question. Yeah, no, I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. Yeah,
It's okay.
my caffeinated brain is not able to anchor down on a specific point. So we're doing where are we playing? We're playing Mansfield. We're doing Winter's End Festival over in Chepstow, which I have a feeling is this prog festival in South Wales that is being referred to in one of these
Oh,
messages.
maybe.
No, that was a different one.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it not? Maybe
Yeah.
Summer's End, maybe?
No, that's Summer's End and Winter's End are kind of the same, but in different. But this other one was one that another guy has just set up. I think it may have been the first time.
Oh, a new festival.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
In a different
cool.
venue as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah, also doing Reading, Brighton, London, Southampton. So it's just a small little stint across the south of the UK for now. We're working on some more bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting things in the pipeline. But
Nice.
but that's it for now.
Okay, great. But that's wonderful.
James
looking
Barrett was asking what the title of the album is, by the way, the Circuline album, and about.
Oh, it's titled Core, Core, which is why this is the Core virtual tour. And Natalie came up. We it's funny. We went through quite a few different names. Titling albums is always an interesting thing. We had a whole list of names we were going through, and we thought we were settled on a name. We thought we were done. And then Natalie woke up one morning and she said, "Hey, you're probably going to hate me. I'm not going to want to hear this, but I have a name, a new title. I think we should say for the album name. How do you want to describe it?"
Well, it's we've had some personnel changes, and I wanted that to kind of reflect that, even though we've had, there's three of us who are still the core of the band, but we're also changing. So core is Circuline, original, reimagined, evolving. And that's because I just thought we should address that kind of thing. Personnel changes can be really hard, but they have, for us, it's always brought us to kind of a newer, better place, considering where we are. So it's, but I wanted to acknowledge the original core, that we're still here after a decade, at least three of us are, but we're, the addition of you guys, Dave and Shelby, I get it. I'm doing more engagement now. And I don't know if you've ever seen any YouTube comments or anything, but if you can go in that, you guys have fans and they're jumping in and saying, "Yay for you guys for having these people in your band." It's just, and I'm constantly writing back, "Yes, we are so freaking lucky," things like that.
Well, that was part of the plan. That was part of the plan is that, Dave and Shelby, you guys are both world-class musicians, and we're very grateful to have you as part of the team, for this album. And we also wanted to bring people who had experience on their own in other bands and would bring that experience to our band. So you guys both have your own experience in your own bands. So when you come to either writing or recording or brainstorming or ideas or anything, we feel that it's very helpful, and you guys are both valuable assets.
Oh my God, yeah.
You
Well,
know,
thank
so
you.
we're very grateful. We're very grateful for you guys.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's a real privilege, honestly. I'm incredibly flattered. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we're just, you know what, I kind of, I don't know, there are not a lot of musicians are into sports very much, but I played basketball and ran track and cross country in high school and college, and it's very much a sports metaphor. We're just trying to build a championship team for this cycle. You know, we're just trying to get all the right people in the right seats on the bus. That's what we feel like we've accomplished. So it's very interesting. I want to, for those people who don't catch all the videos that come out every week, I know I keep holding up the poster, but one of the reasons that I'm going back to this, the concept of the virtual tour, is at South by Southwest, which is a huge festival with several 100,000 people that happens in Texas every year in the spring. The guy who founded Patreon, Jack Conte, did a keynote presentation. And he's talked about how the internet has changed. There was Web 1.0 in the 90s where there was just text and words on a screen. And then Web 2.0 happened, and then people could start sharing. As a creator, we could start sharing pictures and video. And that was kind of the first round of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all the things that emerged between 2000 and 2010. And then there was the 2000 teens when people started subscribing and following. And that's when after taking a break from music for 20 years for a number of personal reasons, when I made a commitment to return to have music and have a career and have that as a major part of my life, that's when all the new things were emerging. And it was very exciting because you could get that subscribe button and you could get the followers. And we now had a way that you could reach a global audience. And then over the last, say, 4 years, and that worked for a while, and then you could get subscribers and followers, and people would see your stuff in their feed, and we could reach them. And over the last 4 years, 5 years, with the emergence of TikTok, it was not about if people were following you or subscribing to your feed. Now it's about how engaging is your content. So if you produce things and it's not, viral level content, people may not ever see it. Even if they subscribe to your stuff, even if they follow you, they may not ever see anything that you're doing unless you're paying to promote those posts or pay for ads. And the guy, Jack Conte from Patreon, was talking about how for him as a creator, it's made a huge difference because now so many people are creating with the content in mind instead of creating with the art in mind first. Shelby turned me on to a Discord progressive rock. I'm pretty sure you're the one who turned me on to them. It's a Discord group. It's a progressive rock group. There's somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people in that group, and a bunch of the really lovely, wonderful, beautiful, geeky, nerdy people put together a Google Doc for every progressive rock album that was released in 2022.
Yeah.
And I went there, and there were 996 albums released in 2022. Every major label release, every independent release. Now, this is a little micro subgenre of rock. 1,000 albums in a year? How are we going to get anybody's attention when there's 1,000 albums a year being released? We're going to have to do something that's just above and beyond what anybody else would do to try to get people's attention. We've grown our email list to 23,000 people, and we do events. There was from 2015, 16, 17, we played live a lot. We toured England. We toured around the United States. And at that point, we just decided we needed to do some things differently. We needed to grow our audience. We wanted to do some lineup changes with the band. So, we're just trying to do all the things that we thought were important. So we're grateful for Dave and Shelby to be here. We're putting out a video every week. We love doing the live streams. We love having people here on the calls. And so far it's working. I mean, our pre-order campaign so far is triple. We already have the triple, 3 times the pre-orders we've ever had, and we still got 6 months to go. So we're very grateful. And just so you know, if you pre-order our album Core, you're going to get the CD, an autographed poster, not this one, a different 11 by 17 poster of the band, shipped to you anywhere in the world for less than $20. And you know, we could have done a different kind of crowdfunding campaign, but we want to make it affordable because there are other bands do different things, and we just wanted, I didn't want there to be any I'll say an excuse, but I didn't want there to be a barrier. You know, if you're new to us, if you love progressive rock, for less than $20, you're going to get an autographed poster and CD shipped to you anywhere in the world. So I'm looking, I'm sorry, you know what, I gotta move the screen because the chat is exactly right behind the camera. Natalie, anybody on
Yeah,
Facebook?
before you move on to any questions or anything, let me
Yeah.
like keep us up to date. We got a bunch of
Yeah.
other people. McNords Delna has joined us. Ronald Jutt has joined us. Callie Nasal, sorry. Jeannie Goforth. Ron Goforth.
Oh,
and
hey, Jeannie.
Hi. Oh, Moidrag Shami Jurna. God bless you. Sorry for taking such horrible responsibility with your name. Tony Brown, Christine Redisky, I think. Again, my apologies for any mispronunciations, but thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. We could not be doing this without super cool, awesome, nice people like you guys. And
right.
just like Shelby wasn't at liberty to say anything yet, we're not at liberty to say anything yet. However, we have, for those of you who keep asking if we're going to play live, the answer is yes. We have some offers for the fourth quarter of this year. We're working out the logistics, and we are in talks with someone for some things in Europe, possibly next year. So we try to negotiate all these things in advance as possible because we know that Dave's touring, Shelby's touring, and we're trying to, you know, it's always a number of variables that we're trying to coordinate. So we're trying to do things as far in advance as possible, which is probably one reason, you know, you guys are both on the cruise. Is Transatlantic now kind of finished, and is Flying Colors now kind of finished now with Mike Portnoy's return to Dream Theater? Are both of those bands, are they not going to do much anymore?
Not really sure, honestly. It's
I thought Transatlantic said that was going to be their last concert in this big.
And I thought Flying Colors did too. I thought that was their big thing.
Yeah, it's very possible. I think I did hear that about Transatlantic, but I wasn't sure about Flying Colors. It'd be very possible that would be the case as well. I imagine with Mike being back in Dream Theater that he probably would want to focus
on that
a lot on that.
Yeah.
But who's to say? Yeah,
well,
you never know these things.
What we know from, we have the same entertainment attorney. Like our entertainment attorney for Circuline since 2015 was Ronald Beanstalk, and he's Dream Theater's attorney, Stephen Wilson's attorney, King Crimson's attorney. And so I think that's one of the reasons that Mike left Dream Theater when he left, is there were other things that he wanted to do. And they were very focused on continuing their cycle of album and tour and album and tour and album tour. And it wasn't going to work. Like what Mike wanted to do with what the rest of the organization wanted to do. So I believe that's why he left the first time. So with him returning, they're probably going to say, okay, well, you know, we want you back and we need you here. So if you're going to do anything else, you have to squeeze it in around whatever your commitments to Dream Theater needs to come first. That's just a guess on my part. I don't know that for sure. I could be wrong. That's just
sounds true. Sounds like that would be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, are you going to say something about that?
I did chat to Neil Morse on the cruise, and I know Neil's obviously the Neil Morse band is kind of on a hiatus because Mike's not going to be available. So he is looking at different options, working with different people on different projects, as he always does.
Yeah.
So that's all I know, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's that's not a bad, that's a good
Uh,
thing.
yeah, sometimes you can get in a rut with in a situation, and sometimes it's good to have a change artistically for a while and work with different musicians, because it's interesting with like my guitar hero Jeff Beck, the amount of musicians he played with over his career. He I think he was kind of always reinventing himself and looking for inspiration from different people, and that. So I think that can be a positive thing.
Yeah,
You know, we wanted
absolutely.
to go see him. He was at
Oh,
Ulster Performing Arts Center, which is literally 20 minutes away. And I said, it was so weird. I said to Natalie, I said, oh my God, I said, Jeff Beck's around. I said, we got to go. I said, he's getting older. I don't know he may not be around much longer, and he's going to be 20 minutes away. And by the time we found out and went to get tickets, it was sold out. It must have sold out immediately. It holds 1,500 people,
Yeah.
And literally 2 or 3 weeks later, he passed away.
Yeah.
It was gone. And I was
oh,
like, oh,
yeah, that one hurt.
yeah,
That one hurt anyway, but we were
Yeah,
so close to seeing him.
yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Natalie.
this is for Shelby. Tony Brown is on, and this is very cute. I worked up the courage to say hi to Shelby and ask her if she was with Circuline, and she gave a surprised and enthusiastic yes. He said you were very nice to talk to him.
Bless. Oh well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Thank
that's Tony
you.
Brown again, in case I forgot to say it. Okay.
I also wanted to ask, while we have Dave here today too, do you want to talk? Don't you have a new box set coming, or your new album promotion or something? You want to talk about that?
yes. I'm working on a new album, which will be my 5th solo album. And that hopefully I'll have it finished, so it'll be out maybe towards the end of the summer, all being well. But yeah, talking about Patreon, actually, so I started a Patreon page about exactly 2 years ago. And that's been an incredible support financially, but not only financially, in lots of other ways as well. So what I thought it would be nice to do would be just especially exclusively for patrons, have a patron-only version of the new album, which is going to be like a CD box that can fit in 3 CDs, plus art cards and lots of other stuff that won't be available to the general public. It'll only be available to people who are my paying patrons.
That's cool. That's a good
So
idea.
yeah, so it's
You're
going to
gonna
be
get a bunch of new members now,
Yeah.
dude.
well. Actually, strangely enough, just this morning I got a new patron, Andy. I haven't written back to him yet, but he's my 100th paying patron.
Oh,
Yeah, so I've got
Fantastic.
that's great.
100 paying. You can join Patreon for free as well, but you only get to see kind of a limited amount of stuff then. But so that's a bit of a milestone for me today. So yeah, so we're just taking pre-orders for the Patreon box. You have to be a paid up member, but like it can be a lowest tier member, which is like the equivalent of buying a posh cup of coffee once a month. So it's not much, and you get lots of benefits, seeing loads of behind the scenes videos, and get to see what I'm doing through weekly Zoom gatherings and lots of stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, so it'll only be a limited edition thing, and it's the offer is only going to be open until probably the end of April, because by then we'll need to be manufacturing copies of it. So if you want that limited edition thing, and actually I'm going to be working on some tracks on it, or at least one track that will include voice clips of the patrons as well. That
Oh, cool.
people can submit, well, a picture which is going to be in there of themselves, and a voice clip. So I'm going to be working a track around that.
Very cool.
Did you give them instructions on what to say on the voice clip?
Yeah, it's only like up to 10 seconds. Hi, I'm whoever from wherever, and just a sentence, either about the why they like the music, or about themselves. So
That's cool.
yeah.
I think what else is interesting about Life Science and Kairos and Circuline is that we all launched right around the same time. I remember Life Science being on the 2014 Cruise of the Edge. And I remember, Shelby, when Kairos was still Synesthesia, were you guys at Rosfest 2013 or 14?
2015, I think it was.
Ah.
But
Yeah, 15.
so
I
the
don't know.
first,
I can't remember. It
well,
was definitely 14 or 15. One of
it
those.
was right because it was right around the same time. Because Life Signs, I think their first album maybe came out in 2013, and then they were on 2014 cruise. Because I was on that cruise because I'd never heard of Life Signs, and I was playing with the Prog Rock Orchestra. We were on the Cruise of the Edge and the Moody Blues cruise back to back, and
Yeah.
we had already played in that black and white lounge, and everybody sounded terrible. It was terrible, terrible. The sound, it was really low ceilings, and the sound was. And Life Signs walked in, and they started playing, and they sounded amazing. And I said, "Who are these guys? How do they sound so good in this room?" I mean, they were fantastic, and they sounded fantastic. It's good because that's for your engineer, Steve, right?
Yeah, Steve Rispin.
Yeah. So Steve, I was like, wow, they've got it going on. They sounded amazing. And then, because I think with Synesthesia, I think you guys, when you were still Synesthesia, didn't you guys tour with Sound of Contact in 2013 or 14, or you didn't?
Nope.
Oh, maybe I'm just, maybe
We
I'm
did
thinking about it,
tour with Spock's
Rosfest.
Beard. We toured
What?
with Spock's Beard in
That's
2015.
what I'm remembering. With
That's
Spock's
what it
Beard. Okay.
was. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Because I remember that now too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Because before we were Circuline, we were Downing Gray progressive rock tribute band, and we would do 3-hour shows of Yes, Genesis, King Crimson, Jethro Tull, UK, Pink Floyd, Rush, Zeppelin. We would do 10 bands every night, and we would do 2 90-minute sets of prog. It was awesome and ridiculous.
Absolutely full on, that is.
It was awesome and exhausting.
Mhm, I
And
bet.
one of the snapping points came when somebody came up with the idea of the next like giant set list that they wanted to do. They were going to call it Five Sides Live, and they wanted us to do Close to the Edge, 20 minutes. Supper's Ready, 23 minutes. They wanted to do Pink Floyd, I don't know, Dogs, whatever, 20 minutes. They wanted to do the full 20-minute Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. And then there were like 5 20-minute epics they wanted to do. And I said, because Darren and I and Bill Shannon, who was the guitar player at the time, we wanted to write original music. And I said, in the time it's going to take us to learn all of that, we could write an entire album. We could just be writing our own music. And that was one of the many variables that caused us to kind of transmorph into the all original band Circuline, which was February of 2014. So so Life Signs, I believe, has 3 studio albums, right? And 2 live products.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kairos is your Mannequin. Is that your 5th album or 4th album?
4th album.
4th album. And then for Circuline, for us, with you guys on board, this is our 3rd studio album, and we have 2 live products, and then we have some plans over some of these upcoming gig offers to be able to have live products over that. So it's just it's also interesting to see the fan base, like Life Science and Kairos have larger fan bases than we do. And that's one of the reasons why we took ourselves off the road and said, look, we need to focus on writing as good music as we can, and we need to work on growing our fan base. So
Yeah.
there's always work to be done.
Yeah, I think the thing about music though is it's not a competition, and I think
Right.
it's great when people work together and different fans of different bands, because of the other projects you do, get to know about music they wouldn't otherwise know about, and the whole thing of cross-pollinating. So like when I joined Life Science, lots of people who were into my previous band Iona started listening to Life Science, and so it's great when that happens. And then now with the solo album and Patreon and that, I'm getting people who were into the Strobes because they knew me from that, or from Life Science or Iona. So there's lots of strands, and I think hopefully that's with Circuline, all those
Yes.
fans
It's
Yeah.
already happening. It's already happening in those comment threads, like on YouTube. I had a chat going back and forth with a gentleman from Oklahoma, big fan of Iona,
Mm.
and we were talking back and forth. And he loves our music now too, what he's heard so far. And
Yeah.
yes, cross-pollinate, especially now the way the music industry has gone. Cross-pollination is
Yes.
kind of key.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Because of all these algorithms that you have on Facebook, and that you can put a post out, and the algorithm will stop people from actually watching it,
Yes.
whatever it is you put out, or reading it, because
Yep.
they want it to be monetized, and you pay for ads. So this is one way we can help each other by our own kind of cross-pollinating.
Yes. So we have a few more minutes. Did you want to talk about the official video, honey? What are we talking about today?
Well, this is at the end of kind of chapter 2 of this cycle. So if you haven't had a chance to either listen to the song Third Rail, which is available on all the streaming platforms, we have the official video, which Shelby produced. There's the lyric video, which we had produced by one of our excellent outsourcing people, a man named Eli Lev in Israel. He's done a great job on our lyric videos. We also have the gear behind the music. We have the story behind the song, and we have the behind the official video. So I want to talk about that a little bit. The gear behind the music videos are really fun. And in case you haven't watched them, at the end of every one, we've put in a blooper segment. Now, Dave's not usually in the bloopers because he was really good when he sent us the videos. They were so well done with him and his lovely wife, Sharon, that he didn't really have any bloopers. But definitely Shelby and myself and Darren and Natalie, there's always some cute little funny blooper segments. So if you watch all the way to the end, I've actually thought about just only taking the bloopers part and putting them as a post and just paying to promote it so people see the bloopers. They might actually watch the rest
People would
of the
like
video.
that. I feel like people would enjoy that.
Then the story behind the song, we talked about this. It's interesting because we shot those videos last summer and we weren't able to do it with Dave and Shelby in the studio because we knew we were going to have to shoot 57 videos, produce 57 videos for the virtual tour. We weren't even done recording all the music and we had to start talking about the songs. So that you'll just see Darren, myself, and Natalie there. And then the behind the official video, those are always fun because we basically I took tripods and we video recorded ourselves making the official video. So while we're talking about those days, was it hot? Was it cold? Whose car broke down? Like what happened? Did the police show up at the train station? Did we have those, the fire? Like we had something happen every time. So you'll see B-roll video while we're talking about it. It's kind of like a commentary documentary type style thing. And that one just came out, the second one came out 2 days ago. So those are all fun. And then coming up for the next 6-week round, we have our third single, which is titled All. And it's a 7-minute prog epic
by Matt Dorsey.
With co-written with Matt Dorsey. Some fantastic bass playing by Shelby with this cool rolling bass line and some nice tasty licks and fills. And Dave's got his awesome, amazing guitar stuff. I also want to say that Dave is a fantastic keyboard player, and he added some really beautiful, wonderful keyboard parts on this record too. And we'll have to figure out when we play live how we're going to cover what we'll do. Maybe you'll play it on guitar and do some pedal swells, or I don't know. I may have to cover some of your rhythm parts with one hand. I don't know. We'll have to figure all that out.
Yeah, well, with Life Sounds, occasionally I do play guitar with one hand and keyboard with the other hand.
Okay. I know, you're such a slacker.
We just watched Dawn Sent Back.
The rough cut.
The rough cut for the official video
for All.
And I love he did a lot on on Shelby's hands. But it just is beautiful. You're like, I don't know.
Cool.
Of what he did, like he really he was just spot on in the shots he gets. And, like the tastier lines and things like that for both you and Dave, and just he had a great eye for I mean, that's his job, I know, but he's just really it looks really good. Like we're pretty much signing off on the rough cut as it is, because
Nice.
it's
Looking forward to
great.
seeing it.
But yeah, and there are really cute takes to both of you when you're kind of smiling, and it's nice. I look forward to you guys seeing it. I hope you like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm checking the YouTube feed. Are there anything else in Facebook, honey?
Uh,
Oh,
oh,
Megan Phillips asked if Dave had a title of his solo album yet.
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah. So whereas the Circuline album has a really short title, mine has a really long one. It's called On the Edge, and then in brackets, Of What Could Be.
Oh, I like that.
oh, I love that.
That's cool. That's very optimistic.
Hmm.
Yes.
Well, it could be either, actually. Depends
Yeah,
on.
it's kind of ominous.
Yes.
I'm hoping. It is the music's more optimistic, I think, and the message, I hope it is. But yeah.
You know
That's
what?
great.
Stephen Murray on the YouTube chat asks if we have an entry in Wikipedia, and the answer is not in this moment. And where we've been working on that, we're mentioned via Rosfest. We have a mention in Wikipedia, but I've been working on. I need to get one from myself personally and Circuline. We need to have an entry in Wikipedia. Not yet. We do not.
Right.
And is this okay? I started to say catfish, but it's not catfish.
Celtic. Yeah, these are my friends, Nigel and Julie. Hi, Nigel and Julie.
Frank.
Oh, are they? You know what? Do they live in Portugal?
No, they live in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was
came to
another
be-
couple friend of yours and Sharon's who had moved to Portugal from England, I think.
Oh,
We did it.
yeah.
They were on one of your Zoom calls.
Yes, that's right. Yes, yeah, but that's not them. But Nigel and Julie were on some of those Zoom calls as well. So
Oh, okay, cool.
Hello.
during the pandemic.
Before, I know we're rounding down, but I just want to mention the other people who jumped on in the interim. Romy Minghella, Lon Savini, Steve Perry, Ed Palmer, Rosanna Pare or Pear, Terry Middleton, Rob Quitter. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much Anything else you guys have coming up in the next 6 weeks before we get on live again?
Kairos dates, lots of Kairos shows, exciting announcements that are in the pipeline that cannot be spilled yet, unfortunately, but it's going to be a big year for my workload, put it that way.
Okay.
I've got a lot of things on my plate this year.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, after I've done On the Blue Cruise with Colin Blunstone, I'll be getting back into finishing my album. That's the main priority. But I've got other recording projects as well, which are going to be happening.
Okay.
Great.
And we haven't seen Pumpkin today. Where's Pumpkin?
Pumpkin's sleeping in the room on the other side of this wall.
Okay.
He's found a new sleeping spot which he loves, the top of the shelf in there. So he's
okay.
very much, yeah.
Nice.
No Pumpkin appearance today, unfortunately.
Okay.
Nice. That's okay. Next time, hopefully.
Next time. There'll be plenty of opportunities.
Okay.
Well,
thank
lovely
you
to
so
see
much,
you all.
Shelby and Dave, for being here today. We really appreciate it. And thank you. Oh,
Pleasure.
James Yokers just said, hi, I'm a patron of
Oh,
Dave's. Thank you,
yes.
James.
Yes. Hi, James. Excellent. Yeah, James is brilliant. And he has a internet radio show called Crazy Q. So if we can get the Circuline music to James at some point, well,
Okay.
then I'm sure.
If you can give me his contact information, I have a big spreadsheet that I keep, for all of that kind of thing. One tab is magazines, one is FM radio, one's internet radio, one's podcast, one's blog interviews. So yeah, we'll be happy to put him on the list and send him. You know what? We're going to manufacturing this week for all the big PR promo stuff that will start in May, that will roll through the summer into the release date, which is in September. What James Yoker says, I play Circuline. Thank you, James. And also Duncan Parsons
Yeah,
Says
yeah,
he's been quiet here, but he was really interested to hear about Shelby's tech and lighting rig, wondering about similar stuff for the John Hackett band. Well,
yeah.
thank you, Duncan.
Duncan plays drums in John Hackett's band.
Oh, very cool.
Both gigs at a great venue in Sheffield, which you might want to consider playing at some point. Shelby, the Lantern Theatre. It's like a miniature theatre. It's brilliant.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
occasionally
I'll have to make a note of that. Lantern Theatre.
yeah, Duncan is the person to talk to.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, we're doing a Dave and Sally gig there in when is it? Yeah, end of June, June 28th, I think.
Isn't there a group they used to run Classic Rock Society magazine, and that magazine, and sadly that magazine is no longer in production, but there's a bunch of people who used to work with that, who used to book some shows, who do some things now. Are that the same people, or is those different? Is that different people?
Different people.
Okay.
Same region of the country though, South Yorkshire.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Back
so
to
much,
your
everyone. Thanks for
Sundays.
being here, Shelby and Dave.
All good.
And
Pleasure.
thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Have a
Okay,
great
bye.
Sunday.